All right, hi everybody, and very good Saturday morning as we've gone through now overnight Friday night and just after midnight on this Saturday morning, the 31st day of January, the final day of the longest month of the year, at least it feels like. And over the past 2 weeks, with all this winter weather tracking, it has indeed slowed down the pace of the month. But here we are. We've already seen one band of snow showers and flurries roll on by earlier Friday evening. Things are a little quieter now, but that'll change gradually over the next several hours. And I would say beyond 3 a.m. and towards sunrise, more of these bands of snow showers will start coming down uh, basically from the north and then settling on in to start the day Saturday. So again, things will start picking up a little bit more. And so we're not done as far as the snow showers. And neither are we done or finished with the cooling process. Temperatures will more rapidly fall overnight. Our high temperature of the day is currently where we stand with temperatures from 25 to 30, and they're only going to get colder going through the day. Wind chill is going to be even worse. So I appreciate you joining me tonight, and we'll talk about what's going to happen through the rest of the overnight hours. And Bill's going to be here. Meteorologist Bill Race will be here first thing in the morning, as he always is on Saturday mornings. Good morning, Chattanooga. And we'll have our crews out there getting caught up on what to anticipate. I expect it to be kind of busy during that time with snow showers ongoing. And then, by lunchtime, afternoon, it kind of shifts to the east a bit. And then we just can focus on the cold that's out there. But again, looking at the overall radar view, there are some snow showers back here west of the plateau, very light, kind of what we just had. So it can make the ground white initially and then kind of move away. But the deeper bands are going on here for now. All of this, though, will start trending back, and I'll show you why coming up in a few minutes, back to the south. All right, so things are a little bit quieter at the moment. And I'm seeing some of the comments. Cannon says, "Where's the snow in Dayton?" It'll come back. It's a little quiet now, but it'll come back after that first little round came on by. So let's show you the overall setup as we go through the next 12 hours. It'll be the busiest part of this between now and midday tomorrow or midday today. Snow showers in the Arctic cold moving back in. It's going to be windy with these snow showers. In some areas, you'll have blowing snow. We don't say that often around here, but that you could have that. And also, it's not going to take much to make things slippery. We're already seeing that at higher elevations, untreated roadways, just that little bit, trace amount of moisture made our driveway out here slick. Now, granted, it's been treated and it was still warm, not a problem, but that wasn't that much snowfall. But in areas where it's untreated now with temperatures falling, it's just going to take a little bit to make it slippery, both in the valley and at higher elevations. So please be careful traveling tonight, and especially first thing in the morning. You don't have to travel, just don't, because you don't want to go to be outside anyway. I'll show you the totals and how things will trend with snow, but still the eastern parts of our viewing area and then farther east, higher amounts, lower the farther west you go. That's kind of the general rule of thumb here. But wind gusts are 30 to 35, and those gusts aren't bad now. They will be howling, though, as we go toward before sunrise and after sunrise and throughout the day, producing these very dangerous wind chills. So it's very important to protect yourself, checking your friends and neighbors, make sure they've got a heating source and a backup heating source. They're staying warm. Bring your pets inside. I can't stress that enough. And also, yes, it's back to pipe bursting weather again. We'll go through an extended time below freezing and several mornings in those single digits and low teens, both tomorrow morning and the coldest morning being Sunday morning. Well, as of midnight, here's where we stand. And again, this goes down as our high for the day, 30. It's not going to go any higher. Already down to 20 in Crossville. Notice Athens, Tellico Plains, Dayton, everybody in the 20s, Fort Payne down to 29. And in areas where you're just above freezing, it won't last that way for long as the winds pick up. Wind chill just after midnight, here's where we stand. It is in the teens for some, 20s for others. So that will continue dropping throughout the night. If I had to give you a preview of how far that'll drop, here we go. So we've got the temperatures here on the top line, wind chill at the bottom. So over the next several hours, it won't change too much, but it starts changing more dramatically 5 a.m. to before noon. A steady drop in both temperature and wind chill, and that is dangerously cold in the morning with those very strong wind gusts. So again, wind, blowing snow for a while, and the wind chill we're going to have to deal with for the extent the entire weekend, even as snow showers move out. Looking upstream at some of the temperatures, Nashville about 10 degrees colder than us. So is Memphis, Jackson, Knoxville 25, where there's more snow coming down. They're going to get greater accumulation there. Even Atlanta, hold on to 36. But after sunrise tomorrow through the early afternoon, this area, and I'll circle it, you have any travel plans, go right along 75 and east into here. That's going to be kind of dangerous. So like Athens, Georgia, for example, Greenville, South Carolina, East Metro Atlanta, even Metro Atlanta is going to have some snow to deal with and very poor driving conditions. So a bit crazy. All right. Most of us locally under this winter weather advisory, and that's due in part to, again, some light accumulating snow for us. But again, because the surface temperature is so cold, even the lightest bit of snow showers can cause slippery driving conditions. So that's the main reason for this. Light overall accumulations, but it's going to make some very treacherous driving conditions. Please be aware of that and don't underestimate how slippery it can be. Winter storm warnings are out for Murray County East, and it's mainly eastern Polk into the higher terrain, Big Frog Mountain, southward or Grassy Mountain, Chilhowie, places like that to the north, and then into the Cherry Hill Skyway area. These are all areas east of 411. In Chatsworth, Fort Mountain there, and into the higher terrain, LJ Blue Ridge and over. This is where significant accumulation could really occur. Into the higher terrain, even the pockets of mountain communities get several inches of snow out of all of this through tomorrow. So again, the live radar view, not too active at the moment. That first burst we had come on by lasted for a couple of hours. It was pretty. I've got pictures posted on my Facebook site that shows some of that. Many of you set your pictures along as well. We appreciate that. And we're seeing some really kind of light snow showers west of the plateau, Murfreesboro to Smyrna, kind of making their way east. So over the plateau, 1, 2 a.m. Eastern or midnight to 1 Central, kind of move on through. But it's up in here where these bands will start expanding and pushing farther south through the night, where our coverage of snow showers will start going up deep into the overnight and into those early pre-dawn hours. And you can see here, if you have friends that are up in Gatlinburg for the weekend, again, the money's worth. But be careful driving. Sevierville, moderate snow coming down all the way to Gatlinburg. That higher terrain of the Smokies, you're looking at 6 inches to a foot. It's crazy. Hey, I'm looking at one question, and I'm going to pause this a second. Someone asking, why don't I have a temperature over Lafayette? That is an issue with the temperature sensor at the Lafayette Airport, okay? It's either not transmitting, and we're not receiving that. So that's the reason why. So I'm glad you asked that, but I get asked that a lot because it's been out lately, and it intermittently goes out, but it's just because of the sensor there at the Lafayette Airport, at the Barwick Airport. Hope that answers your question. Thanks for asking, though. So let's expand the view a bit. What we'll start seeing happen through the night is bands up here start being pushed farther back down as that strengthened area of low pressure moves in. So we're going to see more of these snow showers pushing south throughout the night. And that low that we're talking about, let me back up. I got to show you that. Hang on one second. I meant to turn that off and this other map on. And I just made a mistake there. Hey, that's how it goes. Anyway, here's what's happening. Sort of a transfer of energy from this to this, and this low here is going to deepen. You've heard the word bomb cyclone. That's not a new term. I think it may have hit the mainstream where it just, it's a bomb cyclone. But when a storm rapidly deepens in pressure, we call that bombing out. You hear that a lot when a hurricane rapidly drops in pressure and increases its category. And that's essentially the same thing. Once this goes offshore, it's going to rapidly deepen. Winds are going to pick up. It's going to dump a lot of snow here in the Carolinas, up through Virginia. There'll be a dry slot gap somewhere in there, but it's going to be hard to pinpoint where that's going to be. But to the Carolinas, Virginia, and then offshore, and maybe parts of the Northeast towards Cape Cod, maybe. Let's see how far it drifts out to sea. But either way, the Mid-Atlantic, Virginia's here, Carolinas, that's the hardest hit area. Even eastern parts of Georgia, a lot more with snow, where that being that close proximity to the low. That's what we've been watching throughout the week. We knew the cold air's coming in, so since this Monday we've had Saturday's weather alert because of how cold it's going to be, and then as we've been watching since Tuesday, Wednesday, well, how far west would that outer fringe of the snow bands make it to our area? And we've already seen one band move on by. I see one question. Has it skipped Chattanooga? No, we've already seen one band move through. We're going to have more coming in, more snow bands coming in late in the overnight and toward first thing in the morning. And I think it's going to start up around 3:30. You're going to start seeing these bands picking up here and starting to push down to the south. So watch what happens 3:30 to about 7:30. Notice again, right before 7, those bands really pick up and expand to the east a bit. So by 7:30, you've got more coverage here of snow showers. And so it's going to have its best coverage right around sunrise. And then from sunrise to around midday, there'll be a shift east. So it's going to last longer for these areas along and east of I-75 into the early part of midday into the afternoon, start to move on out. Now, it's not totally gone. I think by Saturday afternoon, you're still going to have some snow showers, higher terrain here. I mentioned Fort Mountain, Chilhowie Mountain, Big Frog, these areas, and all along the Tennessee-North Carolina border, Cherry Hill Skyway, Great Smoky Mountains, and even the Plateau will have these lingering pockets of flurries and snow showers even deep into Saturday night. So that's why I've still got some accumulating going on across the plateau and areas here, and even flurries flying around in that strong northwesterly wind through Saturday night, but that won't be adding too much to the accumulation. Sunday morning, single digits, low to mid-teens. Those are the air temperature. And I'll show you the wind chill is going to be even worse. And then through the day on Sunday, we'll have sunshine back. We'll get a few hours above freezing, but not everybody. In fact, these areas won't even get above freezing. We have to wait till Monday to get above freezing. And by Monday morning, it's cold again. Some clouds will come in and maybe hold temperatures up a little bit to the teens and low 20s. And then we're rapidly warm, not 60s or anything, but 40s Monday, 50s by Tuesday. So it's a pretty big springboard in temperatures to follow, with the coldest day being later on today. Those amounts. Now, again, I haven't changed this too much. Again, notice the low end to high end. I think in the city to the south and west, we're kind of in that traced up to an inch, a few isolated spots up to 2. But it's kind of in this area here, and there's going to be pockets where you don't hardly see anything at all. And you got to keep in mind when there's snow bands and pockets of snow showers, you could go 5 miles completely different, from something to nothing. That's just how it goes. And the farther southwest you go, you're running into more of that nothing. And then the plateau, I've got 1 to 2. It's not going to be uniform, but it'll be in pockets because you're going to have the snow showers coming by at times tonight through the morning, but then persistent flurries of light snow into Saturday night, which may add up a little bit. Northern Valley, we're talking Spring City, Decatur, around Athens, you're kind of in that 1 to 3. Again, it's going to be a range, not, don't focus on the 3, but it'll be in that range 1 to 3. But it's this area right along 75 and east, Athens, Cleveland, Dalton, Chatsworth, and even along 411 and east. You're kind of in that 1 to 3 zone because it's going to be lasting longer. So you may hit the higher end of that 2 to 3 instead of 1 to 3, more of that 2 to 3, but some 1-inch pockets and spots. And then of course you get over here, Fannin, Gilmer, Cherokee, Clay County 3 to 5. And then that deep purple there, that's kind of a 6 inches to a foot over there into the Smoky Mountains. So that kind of gives you a rough idea. So it's not uniform everywhere because of the scattered nature of the pockets of snow showers. So more east, less west. That's kind of how it goes. And we'll watch that. Of course, it can still change. You might see a band set up right over us. You get a burst for an hour or two, and it drops an inch or two. And that's very possible. So, again, these amounts can still fluctuate and change. I can't control that. But we'll be watching that, But nevertheless, it doesn't matter. Any bit that falls is going to make things slick and slippery. So even if you just have a trace, even if you just have a half inch, it's still going to have the same impact as 2 to 3 inches as far as driving conditions. It's going to be that slippery. So please understand that, okay? Wind chills below 0. This is later on into the day. Let me back this up just a little bit. So by just after sunrise, mid-morning, you're looking at single digits to below zero. And then by late afternoon, there we go, not any improvement. Going deep into the night, Saturday night, Sunday morning, still no improvement. But the winds will be dying down at least by that time. Let me show you the wind gust. These are going to be pretty nasty. It's one thing to see on a map the wind chill, but this is why you're going to feel it. Look at these winds and gusts. This starts picking up during the night. It's not too windy now, not yet, but it will be. Look at the wind gust by just before midday. This is why I mentioned the term blowing snow. There are going to be pockets of strong, heavy downpours of snow and blowing snow around. This area on like 75 and east, down toward Atlanta and eastern Georgia, northeast Georgia, these areas, it's going to be pretty wild for a while. Some of you don't see that often. And then the winds stay up through the night. And then by early Sunday, still up quite a bit. But notice during the day, Sunday, it kind of eases off. So the worst time will be most of the day Saturday, early Saturday night, and then drop it on back. So again, it produces the wind chills at these levels. Don't like that. That's too cold. I can't stress enough, bring your pets inside. Okay. We do see a jump in temperature coming up. Let me back off the 7-day. Groundhog Day is on Monday. What happens is once we approach midnight, everything shifts on the 7-day. So that's kind of messed up right now. So ignore that. I'll have to go fix that because it's now jumped ahead to Sunday on the first day. So trust me, there's no snow showers on Sunday. That's all gone. But that's why the 7-day, once you hit midnight, the 7-day advances itself. Anyway, Groundhog Day on Monday. All right. Highs will be in the 40s and 50s on Tuesday. All right. So once again, these are the region-wide temperatures at the moment. You can see what's coming down our way. Things are quiet now. You know, we had, and I'm trying to answer some of your questions. We had the snow showers in the evening. That's not all we're going to get. There's going to be more deeper into the overnight, and especially first thing Saturday morning. I would say between 4 a.m. to noon, that 7-8 hour time frame is your best shot with the snow showers coming in. You know, higher totals east, less west, but everybody locally has got a chance to see some accumulation. Okay, so don't feel left out. There'll be some that some that get a little more than others, but that's how it goes, especially this sort of banding and bursts that go on. But as I mentioned, even just a little bit is going to make it slippery out there. It's slick for travel, so you got to be very careful. Let me put the radar back up here real quickly. Oh, I'll go over the advisories. Did I show that? I had that on momentarily. That's the winter weather advisories in purple here. And then, of course, all areas like around 411 and east under that winter storm warning. So there's a radar view. Things are quiet. There are some scattered flurries around. You got some pockets of flurries showing back up along the plateau and areas off to the west. But we're going to start seeing more of these pockets here dropping down north to south. Say 3, 4 a.m. more, that'll start covering more areas throughout the night. Let's see some of your questions here. Let's see. Lori says the Chattanooga snow dome in effect. Funny. It wasn't earlier. Yeah, the snow dome had broken down. We had a good hour or two of snow showers in the city this evening, early in the evening. Yeah, Wanda, I do think Dayton will get some snow showers later into the night and first thing Saturday morning. Jennifer, same thing for Athens. Let's see. Susan, how much in Benton? I think Benton is in that 1 to 3 zone. There in Polk County, it's going to vary, but I think you're definitely in that 1 to 3 zone, 1 to 3 inches. Dalton, I think you're in that 1 to 2. If you get a burst lasting longer, maybe 1 to 3. The more you go from Dalton to Chatsworth, it'll be a little bit of a difference there. Thank you, Angela. She's confirming that what we talked about earlier on. Birchwood got some snow earlier on in the evening. Jeffrey says he got a coating of Sweetwater. Stop for now. It'll come back. It'll come back. Avery asking what I think about the Cherry-Hill Skyway. I think that's going to be a winter wonderland. I think the higher you get there into those higher peaks, 3 to 5, I think those higher peaks may have a little bit more. A lot of times, those that face the northwest may get a little bit more uplift there, and you get more snow showers because I think the higher peaks of the Smokies will be between 6 to 12. So the Cherry-Hill could be in that 3 to 6 actually. Just a beautiful drive. Maybe the roads will be better on a Sunday, but I'll have to see. Angel, what about Riceville? I think Riceville is in that up to an inch, maybe 2, depending on those snow bands, kind of in that 1 to 2. Then the farther east you trend, as you go into Monroe County, you get more of that 1 to 3. Chrissy, not much going on in the city right now. I don't anticipate much going on for the next couple of hours. You say you're there at work, can't look outside. I think it'll be deeper into the overnight, beyond 3 a.m., where these pockets of snow showers will pick back up, coming down from the north. And Brenda, yeah, same thing. You're talking about a timeline. Again, I'll show you the future track in a minute again. Talk about the timeline. Yes, I'll do a brief recap on the timeline. Everybody's asking that. Okay, Michael says right there, got some snow on the road there in Bradley County. I'm sure that was for that first batch that rolled on by. We had outside our studios, you got in the grassy area, it's white. So we got a little bit, made the ground white. We have some pictures from Mowbray Mountain. They got, I'd say, under an inch, from that. Quick little burst, but covered the ground. But it was pretty much coming down earlier on. Let's go ahead and show you one more look at the future track. So here's a set. That's what's current on the radar now. So let's go on deeper into the night. We will start. So this is around 2 a.m. Snow showers will start picking up a bit to the east. And notice what happens here. Between 4, 5, and 6, it starts expanding. So this is roughly 5:45 or so. Notice snow showers kind of picking up and expanding a bit. And that's why we think, I'm going to back it up a second. That's why we think really after 3 a.m., we'll start seeing the expansion of these snow showers. And between then and sunrise, pretty good coverage locally of snow showers going on. And then rather quickly from 7 a.m. to midday, notice how there's a sizable shift to the east. So it kind of shut off areas west and to the east. You get deep into the afternoon, most of the heavier bursts of snow showers are gone. There'll be some flurries around, peaks of sun and others, just bitterly cold. But parts of the plateau, and I'm going to point this out. You get into Saturday night, the snow's not over. There'll still be flurries going on, but with that persistent northwest flow along the plateau, there's going to be some pockets where it still accumulates a little bit. So that's why I've still got the plateau in sort of that 1-2 range because of additional snowfall into Saturday night. Same thing. We mentioned the Cherry-Hill Skyway. That area up to the Smokies can get a bit more in a way of accumulation as well deep into the night. And it'll take, oh my gosh, there'll be flurries flying around deep in the night because when that cold air dives down, it's wringing out the atmosphere of any available moisture. And oftentimes it's in the form of snow flurries, snow showers, because it doesn't take much moisture to create a snowflake. And then finally by Sunday morning, most of that's gone. And then we get some sunshine back and it's just cold throughout the day. So that gives you a timeline, which y'all were asking about. And again, be careful on roads because any little bit that hits the road is going to make it slick. I can't stress that enough. When temperatures are this cold, okay, it's not going to take much. This is not your typical snowfall. Around here, it'll snow between 30, 32, and the roads will be okay. this case, it's not going to be it. Once these snow bands come back in deep into the morning hours, we're going to be well into the 20s. Yes, Karen, I think Chatsworth, you will see some snow. Yes, I do. You're kind of in that 1 to 2, 1 to 3 range. See how long those bursts last. But for most of Saturday morning to midday, I think in Chatsworth, Murray County, you're going to have pretty good. Norman, they're in Toccoa. Thanks for watching there. I think Toccoa, really good shot. I think a lot of that starts arriving later into the night and really most of the day on Saturday for Toccoa and all of Northeast Georgia. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, it's a rarity. It doesn't happen. We get Arctic blasts like this each winter. Some winters you don't, but it has excessive rounds every now and then. You're going to get that. We've had that in the past, and this is just one of those winters where we're getting that. So I think temperatures they're going to stay below average even next week, but I think next week we ease out of this Arctic pattern, at least for a little while. Let's see if it comes back into February. Mary Beth, yes. If you've not been, if you're just now tuning in, yes, snow showers will be coming back later tonight and on to the first part of Saturday morning. So we're not done yet. No, that's what I keep trying to stress. Tina Benton, Old Fort, I think you're in that 1 to 2 range. If you get a burst more, you kind of could be in that 1 to 3, but it's very possible there. That part of Bradley and areas east. The more east you are of the city, the better. All good questions. I appreciate y'all watching. There's our current temps, the midnight temps, and there's your wind chill, where it feels like 11, 17. And again, folks, that's just the beginning, because here's that chart of the temps and wind chill. Boy, oh boy. Don't want to be outside. 30, 29, a rapid drop around 6, 7 a.m. And we're just going to settle down the low to mid 20s throughout the day. Teens elsewhere, but look at these wind chills. Single digits, that's early in the morning. This is how we stand right now. So temperatures upstream from us are a little bit colder by about 10 degrees. Yes, Lindsay, snow will be coming back to Middle Valley, Saudi area, but it'll be later in the night and on toward first thing in the morning. Okay. We're not done yet. We had that first burst in the evening, getting a break now. We'll have some flurries the next couple of hours, but they have some snow showers coming back. Yep. Emily, I think Dayton Mountain will get some more snow. You're kind of in that 1 to 2 range. And I think even some flurries will linger on into Saturday night. You're kind of the same as the plateau. So, yeah. So everybody be patient. I know that it's like, wait, where's the snow? It was here, then it left. There'll be more snow showers coming in. But again, less west, more east is kind of the way it goes with all this. Let's go back to the timeline one more time. There's our latest future track. So 3:30 to about 5 a.m. Notice how it expands a bit. It's not everywhere. There'll be a lot of pockets that are kind of left out. That's the nature of when it's scattered like this. It's not uniform across our viewing area, but nevertheless, covering a large part of our viewing area first thing in the morning. And I would say the morning to about midday, pretty decent coverage. And again, all you folks who live east of I-75 and from 411 east, our whole eastern third of our viewing area, it's going to last even longer into the afternoon. And so this is why these areas in here have higher totals and longer duration of this. And then, of course, the plateau will have a longer duration of some flurries and light snow showers holding on even deep into Saturday night. And same thing for the Cherahela up to the Great Smoky Mountains. But notice Saturday afternoon, look at the temperatures, teens and low 20s. That's it for highs. It's never going to feel like that with the wind chill. It's going to feel worse. And again, Saturday night, I still think the plateau is going to have pockets of flurries and snow showers and everything ending. Here are your lows. That's the coldest morning Sunday morning. Now, it's not too windy yet. It will be getting windy deep into the night. There's your wind gust potential, 20 over 30 miles an hour. I mentioned blowing snow because first thing in the morning, with these gusts and these areas east of I-75 still getting blowing snow, it's very possible, okay? Very possible with that. And the winds stick around and dying down during the day Sunday. So here's those bitter cold wind chills again. Single digits, below zero. This is the really big story here. And same thing late day Saturday, even into early Sunday, feeling like it's below zero. All right, folks. Hey, thanks for watching this update. We'll have more updates when needed throughout the rest of the overnight hours. I do anticipate things will pick up over the next several hours. And be sure to keep, if you haven't already liked my page, be sure to do so because you'll get notified when I've got an update coming up that'll be posted. Bill Race will be tracking stuff during the morning. Good Morning Chattanooga comes on at 6 a.m. We'll have our crews out in the field showing you what's happening. And I think it's going to be pretty active around 6 and active again at 8 for Good Morning Chattanooga Part 2. Okay? So they'll be having some coverage then as well and coverage also here online. So things are a little quiet now, but I do anticipate it picking up and temperatures going down. That's the bad thing. So again, this was a midnight, early part of the overnight hour update. We're tracking stuff we're watching, as we always do. We'll keep you updated. But for now, stay safe tomorrow. Check in your friends and neighbors. Make sure they're staying warm. Bring your pets inside. Take care of yourself and stay warm. All right. We'll have more updates during the night. Take care, everybody.